Yo, 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 ¿qué pasó?
It's me, Tiffany, and my baby Remy G, and welcome to another episode of Marriage
Marriage
Mondays.
Mondays. Come on now. Yo, what's up? What's up? Hey, man, golly, man. Hey, let us know if y'all can hear us this time, man. I don't know what went on with that whole 40-minute session, man, but golly, hey, let me know in the chat room who's in here right now who watched that little, man.
I just say, you know it's good
Yes.
when something goes wrong.
When something's going on. Hey, man, thank y'all for tuning in to Marriage Mondays, episode 43, Love Letters Part 3, man.
Yes.
Tiffany and Remy G, man, we're a strong couple with a mission. Look, with a mission to encourage other couples to thrive and not just survive,
That's
man.
right.
We've been here. We've been talking these last couple of weeks. Oh, yes, yes. I hear you, Tone. Thank you. Praise the Lord, man. You can hear us, man. It's like, man, we did that whole 40-minute session. It's like, man, come on now. We started getting it's crazy because we shut off our phones, man, and we don't get any text messages or nothing until afterwards. So we did that whole 40-minute session, man, with nobody, man. But it's good.
It's all right, though. It's all right. Hey, at least this is a good part about it. We could have stayed in our discouragement and just left it as it was. But you know what? I'm not gonna let it happen like that. So we might as well. It's fresh on our minds. We might as well do it again. We can't have no part 3 missing in our love letter series. Come on now.
Cannot.
So tonight, we will be talking about why are they important. Love letters part 3.
Yes. Yeah.
And why are they important? So yes, there's many reasons why love letters are important.
Let's see who we got here in the chat room, man. Yes. Why love letters are so important, man. I just want to elaborate on this one a little bit because how many are here tonight who maybe have a loved one across in the war right now, like they've been deployed to war? You know, why are they important? Why are love letters are important? How many of us look? Y'all know our story, man. That Tiffany was battling a little health issue in the beginning stages of our marriage. Look, love letters, man. Like we're gonna explain tonight how love letters took us from there to here now, and gonna launch us from here to there here in a little while, man. It's all because of love letters, man. Like for real. Let's get started. Come on now.
Go straight into it.
Yep. Let's see here. Here we go.
All right. Every word counts, guys. Every word
in your love
counts.
letter. Yes.
Yes. So love letters is something you can hold, feel, smell, keep. They can remind you of the love you felt on that particular time or place. They can still give you the same feeling being read over and over throughout time. They can be a permanent reminder of love.
Yes.
So yes, just to touch on the first one about something that you can hold and feel, smell, keep. Remember last week we talked about how you can put your cologne on there. What if that scent stays on there? You can actually feel that letter. It's not a text message, that you sent. Like, even though that text message was great, are you going to be able to pull that text message out 50 years down the line and be able to read it?
Right.
We talked about, about writing, a letter about, like say I wrote baby letter about how, our trip was 2 years ago when we took a little anniversary road trip. I could have wrote so many things of how I felt and Just the places that we were able to go see and the enjoyment, the fulfillment that we got with each other. And if I were to write him a letter of all that, just think about reading that over and over again, just to take you back to that
Yes.
2 year ago anniversary trip.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Every word is important, man. It counts. You know, it's you're putting your heart down. You're putting your heart down. And so, you know, over the number of years, guys, look, over the number of years, 25 years, right? Y'all know our story. We've been together 25 years. And Tiffany has kept our love letters. I mean, from probably the very first ones that we have written to each other. How many of y'all guys? Let me ask y'all right now. Come on, man. Tell me in the chat right now. Robert, hey man, appreciate you tapping in, sending me a text, man, that you couldn't hear us, man. We did that whole 40-minute session for nothing, but I'm glad you're here, brother. Let me know. Do y'all still have love letters written or received? Maybe in a drawer somewhere in the cajon, you know, in the cajon over there in the kitchen somewhere. You got some love letters, or maybe in the closet in a box. I think Tiffany has ours in a notebook filed away somewhere that she's able to go back there and pull them out. Yeah, already for real. Yep. Yes, sir. And so not those things serve a purpose. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Uh every once in a while when Tiffany's going through, because Tiffany's always rearranging, guys, right? And so she goes in there, she rearranges, and guess what? The note uh
Post-it notes.
post-it notes are everywhere. You know, where I was going is that when she's organizing the closet where we got our love letters, right? She comes across those for some odd reason. When she opens those letters that we wrote to each other from years ago, does something. It opens up her senses to receive the love that I put down on paper when we were writing to each other. Because there was a point of time where when we first started, remember guys, we started when we were young and dumb, right? We were very teenage years, right? And we've been 25 years. I'm almost telling my age, so check it out. There was a time where she had got taken from me, and she was long distance, right? And we were just constantly writing love letters, and I would draw her pictures and stuff, and I would send.
Trying to keep that
Yeah,
connection.
keeping the connection, right, guys?
Right.
Because just couple, the first love letter that we talked about was love letters in a form of communication, right? Let me go down here and find my little. What a communication wasn't there, but
Yeah,
we
but
talked about love letters form of connection. In order to communicate, we need the connection, right? And then love letters of appreciation. That was over quite some time. But check it out. Where I want to go with this is because after we done no put our words down, right, in those love letters that we were writing down, right. She's opening them up. She's receiving the love again and everything. It just kind of shifts. It shifts her day. Look at that, showing her that. I don't know what's happening there. I tell you, with all kinds of doggone technical difficulties. Like, look, we did this for a reason, man. Check it out. But we had. Let's see what was Robert saying. Me and Alyssa. Yeah. That's Facebook. Yeah, MySpace from back in the day, man. But check it out. Now there was a year or two ago. I don't know when it was. It was several years ago where I had grabbed the sticky notes. You know, you can get them in little packages, and there be hundreds of them, man, different colors and everything. And just like because it's Valentine's, right? I forgot to mention. Happy. I'm hoping everybody had a great Valentine's Day. Let me just back up a little bit. I hope there. I know there was, because we got some feedback that this is Love Month, and love letters have been written out. You know, there's even been Valentine's cards being given out to their spouses, and no, we just love what's going on in y'all's life, y'all's marriage these days. But check it out, going back to several years ago for Valentine's, I had for the love month, February, I had grabbed a whole bunch of sticky notes, and I was writing just random little notes and placing them everywhere in the spoon and fork, you know, drawer, the cabinets, the drawer where her beauty supplies was, her scissors, because she cuts hair, right? And so I put sticky notes, love notes in those areas. And I tell you what, guys, I guarantee you she was finding love notes that I was placing everywhere well after February. It kept going. It kept going, and it kept going, and then it kept going.
Yep. So just think about it. You know, I was able to pull out. I don't know if I have any of those, but if I did, from all those years ago, I could pull out those little sticky notes, and it'll still make me feel the same way as the first day that he wrote them.
Yeah.
So it's always good to kind of have something to go back to like that. It feels good. So.
Yeah, it's good too, because the next slide we're gonna show pertains that I remember meeting her grandparents for the first time on Thanksgiving, and I seen how her grandfather respected, cared for, loved his wife, which was Tiffany's grandmother, right? Just the way he presented himself to her was a love letter, guys.
Right.
It was a love letter. Just imagine if that guy was writing down what progress he was having down on paper. And man, I'd be the one. I would like to read his love letter, you know, that he wrote down for his wife.
Right.
And that leads to this slide right here.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah, this one right here. When Tiffany showed me this one, I was having a little time because
yeah, he's like, "Where did you come up with this?" You know.
Yeah.
Said, you know, it says we always talk about leaving an inheritance for our children and our grandchildren, and it doesn't mean financial.
It doesn't mean always. Financial. It doesn't always
like
mean financial.
Financial is good, yes, it should be a must, but why not have a trail of love letters?
Yes.
That shows the love that, you know, your parents, grandparents, great grandparents, why not leave a trail that shows the love that they had for each other, of what marriage is supposed to look like.
Right.
So, you know, just I think about for me is, wouldn't it be nice to go through, you know, you have an inheritance, maybe you get to go through these things of your, you know, grandparents, maybe they've passed already, you never got to meet them, and you come across these letters and it shows the love that they had between
valuable.
Each other.
Right.
And that just gives you like, wow, I want that love.
Yes.
I want my marriage to look like that. This is what marriage is supposed to look like. And maybe there would be some letters in there of what they went through.
Right.
You know, the trial times, you know, the times that they had to fight to keep their marriage alive.
Yeah.
And you come across that and it's like, wow, they didn't give up. They didn't throw in the towel. They knew how to fight for their marriage. And that's what I want. Yeah. So yeah, like it's important to write those love letters, whether, you know, they're, you know, letters that you guys are just trying to work some things out.
Yeah.
You know, and also, you know, just those love letters that just show that appreciation and communication that you have with each other.
That's good. I want to expand on that a little bit, because when we use, this is scripture right here. The slide that we have up, that's biblical. We, you know, we want to talk about leaving inheritance for our children and our grandchildren. That doesn't mean just financial, but in a sense it does, guys. Check it out. Let me break it down. Because when it comes to finances, when it comes to your check, when it comes to cashing your check, when it comes to spending your check on something, that means you place a value on it, right? It's valuable. Finances are valuable. Check it out. When we leave this world, and my grandkids and my kids, well, my kids, when they go through our stuff, because we know when mom and dad pass away, we're gonna go through their stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are going to run into that treasure, guys.
Yes.
They're gonna run into our love notes to each other. They're gonna want to know how we went through life. Mom and dad went through a certain thing, a certain time in their life. They had certain events in their life. How in the world did they keep their marriage together? And they're gonna run across those treasures. They're gonna come across that valuable good, open up that love letter and see that me and Tiffany have written love letters to each other explaining how we went through life,
Yes.
how we got through life, the hard times, not even the hard times, even the times that were good,
Mm-hmm.
like the trips that we take, like really, we talked about earlier that we're wanting to buy a spiral.
Yeah. We were gonna say it for the end, but you can
Yeah,
put it out now.
yeah.
That's fine.
We want to buy a spiral. Check it out, guys.
It's a challenge
It's
for
a
you.
challenge not only for you guys, but we're gonna challenge ourselves too. That we're gonna get this spiral notebook, and when we feel like writing a love letter, we're gonna go in there and write a love letter, and then discreetly we're gonna put it in a place where we know we can go and get it. We're gonna discreetly tell our spouse, "Hey, I wrote you a love letter." And so the spouse is gonna go and retrieve the spiral because the spouse is already gonna know where the spiral's at. They're gonna go and retrieve it. They're gonna be able to open it up and they're gonna be able to read the love letter that me and Tiff have just wrote to each other. We're gonna be able to read that. So
Mm-hmm.
that
I
right
think
there
it's
in
going to be
itself. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Because even in our frustrations, because if you watched part one,
Yeah.
we talked about love letters being a form of
Yeah.
communication. And that's even when you can't get out, like, say you have a small argument or you're going through that separation and you just can't get out in words what you want to say because it always ends up,
Yes.
in an argument.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what comes out of those too, because there's going to be some of those types of deep love letters, and then there's going to be the other ones too.
Yeah.
So
And check it out. It gets real tough because I want to tap on this. You know, I read a book about R.P. Benavides. I don't know if you guys ever known of this guy, but he was there out of Cuero, Texas, around that area. But after his parents passed away, he was moved to El Campo, Texas, where I was born. And then from there, he went and married, and from there he went on to the Army Reserves, and he went as far as becoming a Green Beret. Check this out, guys. Check it out. This guy loved his wife. He was always writing her letters like any soldier would. Any soldier that gets deployed for war or an assignment or something like this, there is a strong sense of communication because I'm leaving my home to go and fight for my country. I'm leaving you, boo. I'm leaving you, baby. I'm leaving you, honey. I'm leaving you back at home. I need some form of communication. I need some form of connection. Look, old boy went to war, got blown up, and he was supposed to be paralyzed. And this guy, after the lights were shut off, when he was in the hospital, after the lights were shut off, he would drop himself off his bed onto the floor, scurry like a snake to the wall. And the guys knew what he was doing, so they set him up some pegs up on the wall. And Roy P. Benavides would actually raise himself up, and he did this constantly, guys, for 10 months. guess what? It is known that he was able to walk again, but the whole time he was jotting down. He was jotting down his progression, sending it back to his wife here in Texas. The unity, the connection, the communication, the love. As I was reading this book, I could feel his love. It was right. He loved his country, but more so, he was very in love with his wife.
And I feel like too that was her receiving those letters. She was able to celebrate those small milestones that he was making
Yeah,
with his progress, from after that accident. So it was helping him too. They were giving that positive affirmation to each other. Him, letting her know
yeah,
that he was okay and he was trying, his hardest to get back up. And for her to know, celebrate with him and to reassure him, in her letters probably
yeah.
it's gonna be okay and I know you got this.
Yes. And I remember at the time that Tiffany kept finding those Valentine sticky notes well after February, guys. Mind you, y'all know our story. Tiffany, battled with seizures. Okay. Times she would have an attack of a seizure, and then gather her noodles together and start doing what she normally does, being a wife, being a mother, cleaning the house, and she would find a note. Guess what? Her depression, because she had another seizure, her depression was at a high level that when she found another note, guys, look, love letters, part 3, listen to me. It broke her emotional state. It broke her emotions, her feelings of depression, her feeling of being anxious because she's had another seizure, man. And that goes on to our next slide.
Yes, they make you happy just by writing them. Any love relating activity activates important parts of the brain responsible for emotion, attention, motivation, and memory.
Yes,
Habitually writing love letters will make you feel more happy and satisfied. So, yes, I mean, just finding those little post it notes, I agree. It really did lift me up, lift my spirits up in those times, those hard times that I was having. And just by writing certain things, I've talked about it before, um, whenever I was in my feelings, writing it down on paper and dealing with how I was feeling, it
yes,
really did help parts of my life because I went through a lot and I just had to write it down and get it out because I never was able to talk to anybody about my
right,
feelings.
right.
So just that pen and paper was a lot for me. So I believe it when I did the research on this and I found that it really stuck out to me because I was like, it is true. It helped me in so many ways being able to just put that pen and paper and write out my feelings.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. Hey, check it out, man, for real. Was there anything else? I'm kind of hearing, man. Like I'm kind of feeling a little bothered by this little negative spirit about. Man, I ain't no punk. I ain't no sissy. I don't write no letters. Look, man, I wanna talk to you right now, man. Like for real. I know you don't write no letters. You ain't never wrote a letter. You never thought about writing a letter. But look, your marriage, man, is on the verge of being split off to the point of divorce. Your marriage is not in marital bliss, bro. And you don't know that such of a minute action to put your feelings down on paper, to give and to receive for forgiveness, whatever has to take place. Look, I'm trying to tell you that Your spouse is going through a health issue, brother, sister. Your spouse is going through a health issue, and very well can lift them out of their misery right now. Just putting down a sweet, warming thought on paper and giving it to your spouse that's having very, very bad case of depression because of their health declining. Look, we want to give them the utmost comforting time in their life of despair. And so just as easily as writing a load, man, look, you're not no punk, man. You're not no sissy because you write a love note. As a matter of fact, that's what makes you a man. If you can put your feelings, your love feelings on paper and give them to your spouse, like real, man, for real. It causes the brain to do something. Check it out, man. Check it out, because you got two sides of the brain. I talk about it all the time. You got the left lobe and you got the right lobe and you got the frontal cortex. Okay. I know none of y'all doctors. I'm not a doctor either. I read this mess. Okay. But look, one side is negative side, the other side is positive. Y'all might have heard me talk about this before. And so, in y'all's time of depression, during y'all's time of being stricken with stress and worry and all of this, we have to literally, I'm going to put this next slide up because we're going to talk about this. Writing love letters to ourselves. Why do we have to do this? Because it removes us from a dangerous place of depression, stress, and worry. Look, the reason why we are out here teaching couples to be encouraged, to be strengthened in their marriage, in their mindsets, in their finances, in their health. We're out here telling guys and teaching guys to look, the simple things as, look, I know for sure this is what the Lord wants us to be happy, wants us to be satisfied, wants us our cup to be running over. The Lord wants our marriage to be blissful. He wants our marriage to have the pressed down, shaken, and running over blessing on our life. And we can do this just by writing letters to our marriage and to ourselves, especially when we have symptoms of depression.
Yep. It says that you have symptoms of depression, writing can decrease them and also very therapeutic, and it can relieve anxiety. Just by putting pen to paper provides clarity and peace. So, yes, for me, write a love letter to yourself, man, because it's very important to give yourself that positive affirmation. Because if you can't do it for yourself first, how are you going to do it accurately for your spouse? First of all,
Right.
you're not going to be able to. It's not going to mean nothing because you can't even believe it for yourself.
Right.
And then another thing is too that write a love letter to yourself for the simple fact that you need to learn how to self affirm, positive affirm yourself. Sorry, at all times. You
Yes.
shouldn't have to depend on your spouse. And some people might disagree with me, but you should not have to depend on your spouse to give you that positive affirmation all the time.
Come on.
Because if you are and they miss the mark, you're going to be disappointed in them.
Whoa.
And it shouldn't be that way. If that's going to cause, it's not going to be peace. It's going to cause dysfunction and whatnot in your marriage because you're looking for positive affirmation that he or she's not giving to you. But in actuality, you need to learn to give it to yourself first.
Yes.
Because you have to be so confident in yourself that you don't need to look anywhere else. So that way, when it is given to you, you can appreciate it more and you believe it more because you already believe it for yourself. And then when it comes from your spouse, you're like, man, my babe really does love me. He's confirming it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that your spouse should never give you positive affirmation. No, that's not what I'm saying because that's very important. You should always spit some positive affirmation game to your spouse at all times.
Yeah.
But also, just don't make it a point to where you have to be looking for someone to give you that because you should always be able to have that confidence for yourself, guys.
Yeah. Love letters, man. Love letters part 3, bro, for real. Hey, this is, I'm telling you, tried and tested, man. We didn't know we was gonna talk about this. We knew that the love month was popping up and it was coming pretty fast. And Tiffany, took the challenge on and said, "Hey, I want to put this thing together." And so she did, man. And I guarantee you, man, look, it's been coming out wonderful, great. We're just going to greater heights in this thing.
I'm telling you, I did not know what I was getting into when we came up with this topic because when I finally got around to sitting down to it, it was like, oh my God. What am I supposed to put for 4 weeks on love letters? Because you can basically sum this all up in one. And I'm like, I need more information. But you know what? The good Lord put it on me and here it is.
Yeah. Love letters, man. We didn't know, man. We didn't know it was going to be a part of this, but.
And we're learning so much, too, as we're going of what we didn't know of how important love letters can be for your marriage.
Yes. Yeah, we thank those ones that are actually putting into challenge. They're sticking with us, man, and they're actually, writing love letters to each other, and it's working.
Yeah.
It's been to a whole different level. They've been to a whole different level, But look, hey guys, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight, man. The redo, man, because the first one, man, it was crazy. We did that whole session with no voice. No voice.
Gotta laugh about it though. Yeah. But yes, don't forget the challenges for this week. Write a love letter to yourself.
Yes.
And get that journal so you can start just writing random love letters.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Tone. Appreciate you, Tone. Yeah, man. Hey, we didn't know we was gonna be doing this thing for long, man, but we kind of enjoy it, man. And we know that people are out there needing our, I wouldn't necessarily say advice because we're trying to talk about our life and how we did our lives together, and what we're doing together right now. And we're just putting it out there, man. And if people can use it too, fine. If they don't, fine. Whatever. It's whatever.
Maybe they just like hearing us talk.
But yeah, I appreciate you, Tone, man, for giving us a props, man.
Yes.
I really do.
All right.
Thank
you guys for watching and stay tuned for the last part of Love Letters Part 4.
Yes, indeed. Hey, tap into us YouTube page. Don't forget Tiffany and Remy G, and Facebook page Making It Happen and Remy G and Tiffany. Tiffany also. There you go. Hey, y'all have a wonderful week, man. We'll see y'all next Monday. Peace out.